Make every night a wonderful journey, no matter where you are. Good night, sweet dreams. The first story, Jeremy. Only because I'm bored. July 25, 2011. My name is Jeremy and I'm 18 years old. I have a brother named James, who is a year younger at 17. My parents are divorced, and right now I'm on my own while James is with Mom. I was born premature in 6 months, and James was born premature in 7. Let's just say that I wasn't very lucky to be as active and healthy as my little brother, but the traits we share are our big hearts. I admit I'm quite jealous that he was the more fortunate one, but with my misfortune, I have no other option but to protect him. Protect him from those that seek his soul. Allow me to explain. This is something no human will know or ever figure out. But every once in a blue moon there is one soul of the thousands born a day, who are given the ability to cheat death. Complementary to this ability, from my own observations, is sanity and what I've seen to be unlike any other ordinary human. Let me tell you, and those possessions that you hear about are the demons, that we know taking back what should have been theirs to drag back down to hell with them. If you haven't figured it out by now, James was one of these lucky ones, and as his brother, it's my job to protect him. You might think I'm crazy, and also ask why. I know this, don't you worry about it. Pretty much what happened, July 280, 2011. I'm pretty sure James would agree with me that Dad is the man who ruined our lives. Not only did he cheat on Mom, but he has had a marriage based purely on monetary gain for the last 28 years. He doesn't make nearly enough to support us, so he's been mooching off my Mom, who's a registered nurse, all these years on top of that he's been verbally and physically abusive to us, which is why they finally divorced not too long ago. James lives with his Mom now, and I'm on my own since I'm a legal adult. We're both ready to strike back at my dad if he dares to hurt us again. Let me remind you that this malevolence from my dad has been going on long since before either of us were born. It is said that exorcists take control of the innocent's body through one method. When a soul who has yet to repent curses another person. My own theory is that my own dad is responsible for the demons that now haunt my brother simply because of a statement that's along the lines of "fuck this kid." Whether he knows it or not, I have been protecting my brother from the demons that hunt him. I have been successful, to the point James only experiences these demons within nightmares, paranoia, and dreadful thoughts, which mostly just scares the living shit out of him. The closest called James had been that thing he saw in a closet at Auntie Linda's house, but Grandma helped me out with that one. I saw that one story he wrote about it. I hope he doesn't figure out anytime soon that it wasn't Grandma. The latest encounter, September 130, 2011. I forgot to mention that James is also a marksman in the National Rifle Association, and is a damn good shot as well. Mom even trusts him enough to keep his Charles Day shotgun in his room with him, which was almost a complete disaster. Remember those demons I said I took care of? Well, this one came awful close to dragging James back down to hell. I took to liberty to include this essay written by James about his experience. God, dreams are ridiculous, man. I read all these stories about how they relate to what's going on around you while you're sleeping, or how movies, games, or books can also influence them. This stuff scares the shit out of me, but it fascinates me at the same time. I can't get enough. I don't have anything to be depressed about other than my dad being a complete asshole. So there's nothing wrong with me. I hope at least this dream was the most ridiculous I ever had. This was scarier than the thing I saw in the closet over 10 years ago. It was so vivid and realistic. And now I know the horror one can truly experience. I thank God for the ability to retain my will and faith, even after experiencing such madness. I was in my room, on my Dell reading creepypasta, as if I wasn't creeped out already. For some reason I began to think about all those scary things. You know, like The Grudge, those viral horror images, and whatever else my imagination could spark. I was home alone too. Suddenly the room warps black in a seething darkness, and I hear blood-curdled screams around me. I'm not scared of too many things, but the few things I fear manifested in that room right there in that moment. The screams were one of these fears. Then I saw that cloud. That cloud I saw 10 years ago manifest itself with the turn of my head to look behind me. I definitely broke the golden rule. Don't look behind you. In a pit of darkness, screams, and overwhelming sense of dread, I gazed into the faceless entity's form. Suddenly it began to take a vague shape that resembled my dad, and in its hands was the shotgun. I owned everything kept happening within the blink of an eye. It's so hard to explain within the realm of logic. It aimed dead at me, intent to drag me to whatever hell there is with the own weapon that I had honed my skills with. Suddenly, another figure that I cannot quite recall came to my rescue and assisted me in wrestling this apparition. As much as I should have been frozen in place facing my face, I gathered my fighting spirit and fought for my life, or more like so. In a losing battle, this thing aimed the gun in my mouth, and with malevolent eyes that I didn't notice before, the other entity that assisted me was now gone. And I was ready to accept my fate when I heard a faint voice exclaim, "W-A-G-E-P." I woke up to find myself sitting upright in my bed, with my shotgun in my mouth and my finger on the trigger. Whomever told me to wake up in this dream is my guardian angel, to whom I owe my thanks. This was a diary recovered at desk from the previous house that James and his family lived in prior to his parents' divorce. When asked about having a brother named Jeremy, James and his family replied that Jeremy was stillborn sometime during the second trimester, when his mother went into labor dangerously early. James almost suffered the same fate, but came through perfectly healthy about a year and a half later. It should be noted that the author of this diary has a shockingly similar writing style to James when compared side with James' work. James was also shocked to find his essay and his supposedly attempted suicide quoted word for word in this diary as seen above. There is no evidence as to who or what wrote this diary and how it appeared in the house. The second story, amnesia. There is a hole in his suit, the size of a quarter. There is a hole in his one-piece positive pressure suit. The life support system notices the amount of air escaping from the hole and sounds the alarm. There is not supposed to be a hole. He cannot see anything through the thick black condensation collecting on his visor. It is raining in his helmet droplets of tart red, and to tickle him as they suffocate the competing sounds of the alarm and his heartbeat. He wants to scream. He is melting everything, is pulsating out of the hole like blood out of a severed artery. He screams. The room responds to the abrupt cease in delta brain waves, and the lights go from off to dim as his eyes snap open. He was dreaming the id card on the perfectly rectangular table next to his bed calms him, as it reminds him that he is not actually melting. A glossy thumbnail of his face stares back at me. The smile is too wide. Glancing behind at the bedside display, I see the word tachycardia in parenthesis next to my heart rate. I remove the probes from my bald head and chest. I disconnect and drag myself the few feet across the tile floor to take a shower. I'm the only one here who uses his room shower. In addition to being equipped with 3D contamination showers, this facility is equipped with 5 domestic showers, one for each resident. From above, the facility looks like a pitchfork, with a lab in each its 3 sharp prongs. The walls, floors, and ceilings of the facility are constructed to form a sealed internal shell, which facilitates fumigation and is both animal and insect proof. There are a total of 4 windows, all shatterproof. Our engineer has put in a few other devices to prevent us and everyone else in the country from dying. Coming out of the shower, I can only assume I know what time it is. There aren't any clocks. Time of day isn't important anyway. I put on my lab coat. It's not important either. The suit is the more useful piece of equipment. The resident surgeon thinks we wear lab coats to remind ourselves that we started off in the cure business. We started working on a new project last week. We get projects from all over the U.S. government, the Red Cross, the CDC. This time it's a private company. We deal with these all the time, but they can't print money like the government can, so we have to keep our eye on them. Besides the business tension, the other reason we keep our eye on private companies is because they don't ask for cures. Biological weapons are currently our most popular request. We don't know what kind of product this company wants yet, but they've already sent us a silver suitcase full of money. Secret agent style. They must really want to corner the market, because we're already moving at a faster pace than usual. Even so, because it's such a new disease, we'll have to study it a while before we start playing with it. Mortis memoria, that's what we're calling it. Not very contagious. It only killed 15 people in some village in Japan. We don't know how it gets in the bloodstream, but once it does, it beats around until it latches onto the blood-brain barrier. Then the real fun begins. It travels to the hippocampus and then starts growing. It kills a brain cell, divides, and moves on, jumping between neural connections. We don't know how fast it can travel, but we think it depends on how fast you think. Once it's gotten in, the only real symptom is irreparable memory loss, and then you're dead. You don't even get to see your life flash before your eyes because you won't remember it. We picked up the bodies from ground zero yesterday, so that means today is autopsy day. We're giving them the works. A burger with everything, not as tasty as it sounds. After some number of bodies, I'm almost tired enough to lie down on the table with the subject, but I don't. I can't. I prep for a shower. The door to the room slides open automatically, and I sink into my reasonably soft bed. My skin is still red and sore from the dye contamination, and the endorphins help lull me to sleep. He is underwater. He can tell it is water because of how slow he's breathing. The flash of silver scales catches his attention. A fish swims up to him at eye level and they examine each other. It is a staring contest. When he blinks, the fish is gone. He turns to look and sees it's speeding away, leaving behind an inky black trail that starts at the back of his head. He goes up for air. The delta brain wave pattern stops. He wakes up in the dark. He forgot to put on his probes. The probes were the woman's idea. It's hard for the room to monitor for disease otherwise. Besides the bedside, They are the only reminder that the room is not just a room. After we started working with deadlier diseases, we made sure it could also serve as a quarantine or an incinerator. I try to push thoughts of incineration out of my mind. Work is moving impossibly fast. We just recently found that the compounds involved in brain cell death are similar to those produced by the foxglove plant. We finished initial testing of the bodies and discovered that the disease is also carried in tears and spinal fluid, making it a little more contagious than we first thought it was. Our only setback so far is the malfunctioning robotic arm in one of the labs. The angel is working on it. The facility heads tell me that we're ready to move on to the active stage, working face to face with it in a lab. I donned the one-piece positive pressure suit. It's basically a casket with sleeves, a window, and a ventilator. Putting it on always makes me feel like an astronaut. There are 2 suits in the room, but we usually work along less human air that way. Once we became a little more familiar with the disease, the company informed us that they planned on marketing it as a product, something that you could sell with a commercial. I wouldn't be surprised if they called it something stupid, like Memorex. At least when you're making weapons, it's you making the money, not some corporations are getting people too lazy to lobotomize themselves. I'm studying the effects of the disease on rat neurons before we move on to human test subjects. After testing a few samples, I'm already tired. I can't remember how many I've seen swell up and explode. I look up at the clock to see how much time has passed. Then I remember that we don't have clocks. Without fully knowing why, I get a stab of panic. It bolts straight from my head into my stomach. Out of instinct, I start to perform the self-diagnostic tests they teach you when you start dealing with neurotoxins. I can't remember past the second test. There is something wrong with me. I head for the door. In the next room there are 2 racks, an empty one and one holding a suit similar to the one I'm wearing. This thing is like a coffin. I tear at it for half a minute before finally getting it off. A door to my left opens automatically. In the next room there is a panel on the wall and a heavy door without a handle, which I remember to be the exit. I press the panel. A shower above my head spits pain at me. I get a jolt of surprise and adrenaline and a panic. I randomly hit the wall behind me and the door opens. There is a crumpled yellow thing on the floor and another hung on a rack. I run through another door open to a pure white room. There is no way out. There is a panel on the tabletop nearest me. I don't know what it does, but I cross my fingers, hoping that there is not another pain shower somewhere. I press the panel. The robotic arm springs to life and strikes me on the side of the head. Back he is falling. He hits the floor. It hurts a lot. I feel my skin tight around my flesh. It is white, like an envelope. Where am I being sent? My postage won't stop reading. I forget. Why am I dying again? How long has it been? What should I do? Who am I asking? God? Should I pray? Where is the tunnel with the light at the end? Where is the crowd of dead relatives? Can I get a hint? My God, it's me. Call me back when you get the chance. I read somewhere that you hallucinate when you die. Something about the release of a chemical DMT, whatever that is, in the brain. Whereas my hallucination? Should I feel sad? There's plenty I haven't done. I've never even used a pogo stick before. Should I feel content? I've made it this far without dying. I lived a good enough life. I was a nice enough guy, I think. I know I shouldn't feel happy. I suppose how I feel doesn't matter. What about my last words? Nope. Can't think of any. Plus, I don't think I have the strength to speak. What about my funeral? Who's invited? Me, obviously. I can't feel anything. That's a good thing, right? The lights in here are starting to turn blue. My nose is running. I taste iron. Is this that hallucination thing? The corners of my eyes are leaking. There's an alarm sounding. I might get to ride that pogo stick after all. The third story. I love you till the day you die. R-I-N-G. R-I-N-G. I love you so much that I'll kill you. R-I-N-G. R-I-N-G. The subscriber you are calling is busy at the moment. Please try your call again later. Beep, beep, beep. This is what I typically hear when you are mad at me. Even though I haven't done something wrong, you won't answer my calls. You won't reply to my text messages. Am I nothing to you? You are mad again, but why? The only thing I did before you yelled at me and cursed me on the phone was to tell you I was disappointed for letting me wait for your call for hours. Was that too much? Don't I have the right to be disappointed? You know what? I miss you. I really miss you. It's been months since we've seen each other. Before, you would just appear at my front porch with flowers and chocolate boxes in your hands. I love you so much. I miss you. I would hear those phrases from you without me even talking first. I was really speechless. We spent the whole day cuddling each other, sharing stories as if it's been centuries since we bonded like that. How I wish I could turn back time and be there with you again. Do you remember when you get sick? Even though you told me not to come over anymore, I would stubbornly find my way to you just to take care of you. I know you need me. I know you love to see me take care of you. I would snuggle right next to you after I give you a sponge bath and make you drink your medicine. Do you feel how much I love you? We made dreams together, you and I, with kids and grandkids. We dreamed of us together sitting side by side watching the sunset. You and I with our hair, thin and white, holding hands. How romantic, isn't it? But here I am, all alone, waiting for your call. But it never came. Remember how we fight before? You would always get mad at me, like now, but before, you never rejected my calls. I would hear you cry on the next line. Oh, how I hate to hear you cry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please don't apologize. It's my fault, and you kept telling me that you were sorry too and you love me so much. Ain't I such a jealous gal? It breaks my heart seeing you talking with other girls, but I try to keep it to myself, because I love you and I trust you. B.E.P. B.E.P. One new message. It's from you. Can I come over right now? I'll be there in an hour. Sure thing, babe. I'll be waiting. I love you. Okay. I have to take a shower. I don't want to be all smelly when you arrive. But what am I going to wear? Where is my makeup? Okay. Relax. I can do this. I'm really excited to see you again. I think you're over with our fight, and you will come to cuddle with me again. Oh, I'm so happy. You make me so happy. The clock is ticking. I'm all done. I look in the mirror and I see the girl I made you fell in love with. I can see myself smile yet. I can't see what's inside. Why does it hurt? Is something wrong? D-I-N-G, D-O-N-G. Oh, you're here. I have to keep myself from running toward the door. Okay, breathe, breathe, smile. I open the door, there you are in front of me. But no flowers and no chocolates, but it's okay. I just need you. But why aren't you smiling? Why are you so gloomy? I try to hug you, but you just let me hug you for a couple of seconds, and you remove my arms that I wrapped around you. Don't you want a hug? I try to kiss you on the lips, yet you look away, making me kiss you on the cheeks. Why are you like this? We are just standing here, in front of my door. Nobody is talking, then you open your mouth and utter something that is hard for me to understand. You are leaving me? What? You don't love me anymore? After all I've done for you, you are just going to leave me like this? I have so many questions in my head, but I can't speak. My tears are just rolling down my cheeks. You just stood there, looking down. You don't want to look at me. You don't want to look at me like this. Last request, please. Just come in with me here, until I finish crying my heart out. You agree we sit down on the couch? Please wait for me here. I'm going to fetch us something to drink. I can't stop crying. I walk toward the kitchen. You are still looking down. You still won't look at me. I lean on the kitchen counter. My tears are dropping. I contain myself. I stand up straight and walk toward the fridge. I look at you, still sitting on the couch. Oh, how I despise you right now. I want to scream how I hate you right now for hurting me. I look at you and now I see a devil in my living room. Fuck you. I hate you. Why do you have to leave me? Why don't you love me anymore? Did you find someone new? Fuck you and your slut. Fuck you. My heart is racing right now. I want to stop it from hurting me this much. I want to end whatever is hurting me right now. A knife. I see a knife by the sink. My hand is reaching for it. I'm not me anymore. I'm not that sweet girl you met before. I slip the knife at the back of my pants. I'm keeping it out of your sight. You won't see it, you won't notice it. I took a glass of water from the fridge. I took a single glass. I pour water in it. I'm going back there. With your last glass of water you took it. And have a drink. Was it good? Was it refreshing? Stab him now. Something is telling me to stab you, but not yet. You look at me. I'm staring at you, then you look away again. I'm sorry. I have to leave now. What? Still with that leaving drama? No, I have to tell you something interesting, something very, very interesting. My sanity just left me. I'm smiling now. Can you see? Why do you look at me dreadfully? Do I look ugly? I thought you loved my smile. I smile some more. You look scared. Do I look scary to you, huh? Do I? I'm not speaking, but my head is screaming right now. K-L-L-H-I-M. I took the knife from my back. It hurts. Blood trickled down my back. I don't care, it feels good. I love pain. Now you made me love pain. You look more scared now. Why? Because of this knife. Why, you should be. I-H-A-T-E-Y-O-U. I-H-A-T-E-Y-O-U-S-O-B-A-D-I-W-A. N-T-T-O-K-L-L-Y-O-U. You froze right there. You thought I couldn't do it. Sorry, but you were wrong. I stabbed you on the leg. You won't be able to run. You crawled all the way to the corner. I'm coming to get you, baby. Why are you whimpering? Are you scared? I can see dares from your eyes, your eyes. Remember how I told you that I love your eyes? Oh, how I really love them. I don't want those eyes looking at other girls, okay? Let me carve on them with this knife so others will know that your eyes have been marked. Slowly there, does it hurt? Let me kiss them and blood. Oh, don't cry, look. Your tears are red, let me wipe them dry. I can feel your heart, baby, it's beating really fast. Are you excited? Me too. Can you tell with this grin on my face? Your heart is really beating loud. But is it really beating for me? I think I should take a look. Just a little cuss above your right nipple. Oops. I think I made it longer. Well, at least I can pull your skin with my hands. Don't scream, baby. I'll just have a look at your heart. I'm pulling your skin up. Just a little more. I can see it. There. Your heart. Oh, it's so cute. I can feel it. And it's beating for me. Oh, I love you so much. Let me just take off this skin from your chest so I can always see your heart. Don't worry, it won't hurt that much there. Easy as apple pie. Oh, you're asleep, you ray so cute when you are sleeping. Can I cuddle with you? Is that a yes? I love you so much, baby. I love you, baby. Thank you for coming, hero, so you are staying here. Let me remove your shirt, it is full of blood. Do you want something to drink? Do you want a kiss? Here, let me kiss you, let me cuddle you. I love you so much, don't leave me ever again.